It seems our doctor friend may not be who she said she was, or who they say they were. Regardless, we are going to need to pay this eventually. We can get a little bit cheaper, it looks like. For 80 now. Toshiro now runs a dispensary out of the block. He eyes you as you approach. There's no sign of Sabine. So we can pay 80 for that now. And last time I said we had enough. We could go... I don't want to talk with the enforcer. I feel like this is a bad route to be on. Yeah, we're not gonna go down that path. I trust Sabine. They helped us right in the beginning. So let's pay for this passage. To reach the Greenway, you need to pay for a pass, a practice invented by the space moored here. They call it Founder's Ferry. So let's go. A heavily tattooed spacer takes your chits and tells you to prepare. Should be waiting at the edge of your arrival. Take the ferry across the Founder's Gap to the Greenway. As you step out into the passageway, someone barrels into you from behind, sending you stumbling down the corridor. You turn to see an unfamiliar spacer, laden with heavy gear. She steadies herself, staring you down as if daring you to respond. Stay silent. She adjusts the strap on her shoulder, barely giving you a second look before setting off down the corridor. Sorry for her, a second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission, they shrug. Not a problem. They smile. You're sweet. Eek. Esh stands further down the corridor, glowering at her friend. She chops at the air, pointing down the corridor to whatever end she is rushing to. Peak raises their eyebrows at you. Esh, please, do you want everyone on the station to hate us? Esh hardens. They want to hate us. They can hate us. She drops her hip. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got through before they set up that damn cordon. Don't interrupt. Peak sighs. This station isn't Hawthorne. Everyone isn't yoked to the same corporate protocols. Esh sighs. I'm not saying they're part of the administration. She jerks her head in your direction. But I am saying we need to get these supplies of the Briar before someone starts asking questions. The Briar? That's our ship, Park explains. Peak. Esh rolls her eyes. What are you doing? Peak ignores her. We are here with refugees. The ones Havenage have cordoned off from entering the station. Esh interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined in the makeshift vessels that barely make it to the eye to begin with. The ones that your station administrators have called an existential risk, and are running out of supplies while their right to the safety is being debated by people with no stake in their future. She quickly looks away, annoyed at her own outburst. Peak sighs. She's right. People are trapped out there and... They turn to Esh. We understand that this is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. They hold up a hand to stop Esh interrupting. But... Esh turns away, her burning anger a palpable force in the closed quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping. Peak finishes. Stay silent. Peak, please. Esh gathers herself and the supplies. Esh, we need help. Just like the refugees needed us, we need others too. They smile at her. Peak turns to you. Come find us. The climbing briar is docked at the broken spoke, past the Greenway in the wastes. We have a good view of the cordon, though we are keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Esh turns to leave and Peak follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Esh shouts back down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want to help? Show us. Bring supplies or don't come at all. And with that, they disappear around the corner. Esh already picking up speed as Peak calls for her to slow down. A refugee flotilla? Where are they coming from, and why now? Each time you think, you begin to understand this place. Something changes. New drive. The flotilla aid. Esh and Peak need help gathering supplies of a refugee flotilla quarantined past the wastes. Will you help them? Bring mushrooms to the briar. Right, so in the Greenway, we were going to try and find some mushrooms. Let's see if we can find them. So we can adventure there. Self-sustaining community. The wastes, a ruined agricultural system. And then the climbing briar. That seems to be the end of the station. It's the Haifa commune and the Greenway, the overgrown biosphere. So we can walk the Greenway. The simplest way to explore the Greenway is simply to pick a path and set off into its twisting chambers and passages. This carries obvious risks. Or, rather than simply thrashing through the undergrowth, you might sketch a map of this overgrown jungle to try to better navigate its hazards. Okay, so we have these two options available to us. The Hydra commune. Working the canteen. Newcomers to the commune can work within the canteen, preparing and serving food for those that make the compound their home. Or we can work the grow beds. The grow beds are at the heart of the commune, feeding the members and fueling their lab work. You are invited to assist in maintaining them. So these two options are safe work and then the wastes. Ooh, this is locked. We need a skill upgrade. Out here at the edge of the habitable parts of the eye, everything is scrap. The trick is finding components that are still usable and staying safe. Well, with all that in mind, perhaps we shall explore. But let's do it the less risky way. Oh, mind you, if we do this with the 6, then we can't screw it up, right? Oh wow, we got energy and +3 to going green. Now that's more like it. Well, now that we have more energy for that, 50% positive, 50% neutral. Come on. Yes, we completed it. And we got more energy for that. Very cool. You find your way onto a well-kept pathway between encampments where carefully planted groves provide fungus and vegetables. Mushroom groves. The Aviary. And we got a new drive here. Grow mushrooms. The aviary would be the perfect place to grow mushrooms, with some work, that is. Clear the aviary. So what's here? Ooh, we cannot forage. We need a skill upgrade. We can collect spores. While the grove mushrooms are dangerously inconsistent, spores provide a chance to gather or study these species in an untouched form. In the aviary, we can clear the overgrowth. Once a corporate garden for impressing guests with gene-tweaked birds, now this chamber is a massive overgrowth. You can change that. It is safe work, so no issue here. +1 for a negative outcome to the sunlit refuge. To cut away the choking vines, stop the rot, and this place could be turned back into a garden of sorts. We have one more dice roll. So this will be a daily thing I want to come back and do. Screw it. Let's try and get some spores. Come on, RNG. Let's go. Yes, +1 grove spores. You find clumps of spores in a passageway dripping with moisture. You gather them quickly, unable to identify their source. Oh, and there's farm stacks here. Oh, okay, there's 3 things available. We can work the stacks, barter for food, or steal the harvest. That might be something. We can barter for food. It's going to take half of our cryo. Let's try it. Plus energy, -16 cryo. The farmers take the chits hesitantly, and then pass you the food. Sweet, so we did get food? Oh, we already had full energy. Okay, that's my misunderstanding. Okay, let's go back. And we gotta go back to... Oh, I forgot. We will have 2 days after this next cycle to make the money back. Of course, if we just choose to ignore, I think that's going to be a problem. Okay, now we're on a 3 dice roll. Can still make do. The scrap freighter was decent for work. Ooh, what is this? We have to confront Ethan. The compressor is quiet today. The usual crowds are elsewhere. And the pumping music washes over a handful of spacers and a few drunks. Ethan is still in the same stool, in the same pool of light. His head low, close to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring him. Leave. This is ridiculous. You go to turn, but Ethan calls out, "Sleeper." He turns to look at you. "Time to pay up again, isn't it?" He gestures to the bartender. "Come here, take their chits." Stay silent. The bartender ignores Ethan. It seems they've cut him off. "Hey," he slams a hand on the bar. "Come take the chits." The bartender ignores him. Ethan lets out a huge sigh, rubbing his eyes with his palms. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles it out. It clatters on the bar and falls to the floor, bouncing onto the ground between you. Both of you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. "Butterfingers," says Ethan, and puts out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun. "If you would." The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. Point the gun at Ethan. Ethan turns his head in your direction a little, a sharp pale eye locking with yours. The bartender backs away. "Oh," he turns on the stool. "Oh, sleeper." He stands. "This is more like it." Pull the trigger. You don't wait. You pull the trigger. The gun clicks. By now, all the attention in the bar is on you and Ethan. He looks at his gun with a bemused expression. The bartender raises an open hand, and in it are 10 shiny bullets. 10 shiny bullets he took out of Ethan's gun while he was sleeping on the bar. Ethan smiles at the bartender. "Oh well," he says, and grabs a gun, slamming it back into your face in a single move. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters onto a surface. The hit's a glancing blow, but it makes your vision swim. Through the blur, you see Ethan wrestle a small, thin slate from his belt and hold it up. "Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it." Ethan taps at the slate. "No more playing." Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting, a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He crouches down and grabs you by the chin, his face close, his breath heavy with drink. "S&R just screwed me," he grins maniacally. "They canceled the contract." He stands up. "They canceled the contract!" He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the hit fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound, like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back towards the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. "I'll kill all of you," he screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away down towards the door. "I'll be back for that," he shouts at the bartender, and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. Well, that's quite interesting. S&ARP canceled the contract. Can't say I'm super surprised, but I am very happy. Okay, let's unload containers. Why would they cancel the bounty on my head? Why do you think they did that? Let me know in the comments. Let's do some work. And go to the Greenway and go clear out the Aviary a little bit. +2 to sunlit refuge. Nice. Go back across the rim. We're gonna ignore Rabaya, remember? Don't trust her at all. And we are fading, so we'll have 3 more dice rolls tomorrow. Let's end the cycle. Yeah, we're still on 3. Oh, we only have 1 and 2 and 4. Yeah, we're not talking with Rabaya. I don't think that that's worth it. Priority now is clearing this overgrowth. Yay, +2. So we're almost done now. We're almost halfway. Just a couple more cycles. So let's go do some work for the operators over here again. Over at midline. Negative outcome, +6 cryo only. Two negative outcomes in a row. Well, that's not great. Ooh, we can buy a ship mine fragment for 60. No. They're leaving in a few days, so we need 2 more ship mine fragments to make a full ship mined. Let's end the cycle. Oh, complete active scenes. Uh-oh. We have to talk with Rabaya. No. As you approach the address Rabaya gave you, a heavy hand falls on your shoulder. What's your business here? The enforcer grips your shoulder, giving a hint of the strength her implant it gives her. As you turn, you see the same subsidiary eyes as Rabaya and Toshiro, glinting like mirrors on her cheeks. Jaya, please. The sleeper is here by my invitation. At Rabaya's command, the hand immediately loosens. An apologetic look replaces the scowl on Jaya's face. Of course, Rabaya. I'm sorry. Rabaya waves her away. Don't you worry. I appreciate your protective instincts. She smiles at the enforcer. How about you head to the tambour? They have a delivery coming, and they'll need some help with the lifting. Jaya nods and walks away. So, sleeper, you claim. I'm glad. It didn't feel like an offer. I'm sorry for that. She smiles a tight smile. You have to understand, finding you there in Sabine's unit, I wasn't sure where we stood. There are more than a few people on this station who would rather I was dead. I had to be sure you weren't one of them. I wish you no harm. Not yet. I wish you no harm. I am glad. Rabaya begins walking and gestures for you to walk with her. She takes you down a staircase into the bustling walkways of the low end. What do you know about Yatagan? You are a gang. A gang, yes. That is what people call us. But what meaning does that word have in this place? People with carts push past, moving crates of supplies around the thin and winding passages. Our reputation is one that implies threat. Is that fair to say? We are framed as aggressors, parasites, and criminals. She gestures around at the people in the passageway. But when was the last time you saw a lawmaker on the eye? A policeman? Who makes the laws here? Erland did. Indeed, you understand the history then. That is good. But Erland is long dead, Sleeper, and his rules were little more than an optimist's manifesto. The eye has changed so much since then. If you had spent your time in the low end, maybe your opinion of us would be different. This is our place, our people. The low end was empty in Erland's time. They didn't need to house thousands, and keeping the yards and the rotunda safe was work enough. No, the low end was reclaimed later, when the refugees started arriving. Rabiah meets your eye. The collapse didn't just happen here on the station. When Solheim collapsed, the entire system felt it. Colonies were abandoned. The moons of Ember and Cinder suddenly gained independence overnight. Some took advantage, some tried to hold it together, some fled. The Eye became a refuge, and Erland, to his credit, extended an open hand to everyone. But many within his organization disagreed, and those new arrivals weren't as simple to corral as they had hoped. Rabiah leads you through a small market hall, busy with small stalls and traders. Erland's union was made of workers, administrators, people who were malleable and already organized into hierarchies in these networks. And the refugees came from different factions and families, were scared, injured, desperate. Conflict was inevitable. Yatagan is a child of the conflict, a child born out of the need for us to stand up and claim our future, to provide security, strength. People call us a gang, but we are a community. I take my position as lieutenant seriously, and from my birth I have worked to earn it. Rabiah catches herself before she raises her voice any further, and you both walk in silence for a while. Among the smells and textures of the low end, you start to wonder if this place could be a home for you too. Where do I come into this? Where is Sabine? Where do I come into this? Rabiah smiles to herself and thinks for a moment before she responds. I believe that you understand the importance of a refuge, so I also believe that you wish to help keep this place safe. She exhales quietly. For this reason, I would like you to trust me. I do not know what Sabine told you about us, but I imagine it was not good. I will be honest with you, Sleeper. I was never comfortable with having Sabine as part of the Yatagan. An ex-corporate employee, it goes against our nature. But their deal was with Yannick. I kept my distance, made sure Sabine had their surgery, kept it supplied. That was all. But I cannot allow people to go back on the promises they have made to us. The Yatagan has not lasted this long because it is a charity. We offer and ask for support. Any betrayal will be treated as an attack. They were trapped, desperate. Ask who Yannick is. Yeah, who is Yannick? Yannick is one of the heads of Yatagan. They guide us. He is the newest to be elected. He is an elder. Sabine found something. I don't trust any of you. True. But what do I actually say here? Let me know what you would say. I'm going to say, I'm sure they don't trust us either, so I'm going to say this. Rabiah sighs. That is your right. I only wished to explain our actions, to speak for Yatagan. You realize that Rabiah has led you in a loop, and together you both come back up a staircase and walkway where you met. You are free to go, sleeper. I have said what I wish to say. She looks out through the windows of the walkway. I would protect this place with my life, as it has protected me. I want to make that clear. She turns back. However, if you too wish to come under its protection, I can help you. Return here if you wish, and there will be a task for you to complete. You will be able to see Yatagan, to see the low end, with your own eyes, not as others frame us. As for Sabine, she pauses to consider her words. I will not ask you to betray them, but if they contact you again, consider their motivations carefully. With that, Rubaia leaves, slipping back into her office, while you stare at the countless units, each a home, each with a story, that make up the low end. A new drive is work for Rubaia. Wants you to be part of Yatagan. Could they help you settle on the Eye? Spend time as a Yatagan enforcer? We can join their ranks. It's an interesting prospect. Oh yeah, 2 6s and a 3. Okay, let's definitely make some money first. Let's barter for the... Yeah, let's get ourselves another piece of a ship mind. Booyah. And then let's go and clear the rest of this aviary if we can. Nice. We only need one more day of work. I know this will probably hurt us a bit more. Yeah, that did hurt us more, but that's okay. Need to make some money. Oh, we got 11 for that in total. We're starving, so let's fix that with our friend Emphas. There we go. So that'll feed us for one more day. Cross to the Greenway. Clear out the aviary. I'm going to use a 1. +2, nice. You struggle with dried vines and creepers entwined around the structure of the dome, threatening to vent the garden into space. But it is clear now. Now we can germinate spores. The old growth of the aviary has created a rich medium into which you can place the spores from the groves. They'll grow well here. Nice. You extract the spores from the sample print and mix with water, then inject them into the prepared mulch. It is precise work. The fungal beds. The moist corners of the aviary make the perfect beds for the spores. Once they are filled, they can be left to grow. Ooh, so should we pick some more spores? Let's do it. Yes, we got more spores. So that's 2 in one cycle. And there we go. We only need one more spore. But we're out of dice rolls for the day. But that's okay. Grow the mushrooms. Yeah. Very cool. Let's see what one more day brings us. Ooh. Okay, after today's cycle, we'll inject a stabilizer. We got 1 and 2. So I'm hoping we can pick one more spore. Two on a risky. Nice, neutral outcome. Awesome. That's what I was hoping for. Plant the spores. Now they can be left to grow, it seems. So it takes 4 cycles. But then we get free food. So that's good. I'm gonna head back. Do some very safe operator work. Negative outcome is only 6 cryo, but that's okay. And with that, I will leave you until the next one. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't, or at least consider it. Of course, I appreciate your viewership either way. I'm Seth on duty, signing off.